Hi, I'm Tom Morris. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to look at finally cracking this F bar chord. In parts 1 and 2 of this series, we've used a simple 3-note chord shape to play the F chord, and we used that to play other major chords up the neck as well. We've used a bar building exercise to build the strength in your index finger and in your hand, in your arm, and we used the correct technique to make each note sound really nice and clear. We added a 4th note to that 3-note chord shape, and we also moved that up and down the neck to play other major chords. We also played this bouncy staccato-like exercise, which helped us to build up our strength in the left fingers and in the hand, and work on your stamina as well. We're building stamina and endurance with these fingers. So today we'll be adding the final piece of the puzzle, the first finger barring right across all the strings like this. So the thing about this bar chord that lots of people struggle with when they first start learning it is to make it sound really clear, because you've got a couple of things going on here. You've got fingertips pressing in, which is how you would normally play chords, right? But then you've also got a flat finger as well. So you've got this mixture of tips of your fingers and a flat finger going across. And I don't know if it's the way we're maybe overthinking it or something, but to try to make each note sound really clear can take a while. It takes lots of practice to make it sound nice and clear. What we'll do is, instead of trying to do F straight away, let's move it up the neck. We'll get away from fret 1, because fret 1's probably the hardest place to do a bar chord anyway. So let's go up to fret 5, say. Let's play an A chord. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take that 4-note shape, one that we did in part 2, where I have my 3rd finger on fret 7 on the A string, my 4th finger's on fret 7 on the D string, 2nd finger's on fret 6 on the 3rd string, and my 1st finger's on fret 5 of the 2nd string. Now with that one, we were just strumming 5 strings. But today, see if you can get this 1st finger to go from being on the 2nd string to straighten it out and line it across all of them like this. Okay? If you find that really tricky, and chances are you will, you can maybe take one little step extra to get there. So why don't we try this? Let's take that 4-note shape and now put your 1st finger only on the 6th string on fret 5. So this gives us another 2nd 4-note chord shape, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm only strumming the 6th string, the 5th string, the 4th string, and the 3rd. And let your 1st finger just rest against the other 2 strings, the B and the E string. If you let it rest against it, so you're not pressing down, you should hear this muted sound, like that. That's not bad for this stage, I think. See what I mean? That sounds alright. Alright, so we can start using that shape now. I think it's a good idea to get used to the 1st finger being out instead of, tucked in and using your fingertips like we've been doing up to now. So get it up and over, see your fingertips. So let's go to that F chord and see how you get on. Can you do this? So my 1st finger is on fret 1 on the E string, and then I've got this little foundational shape with my 3rd finger and my pinky are together, like that. Here's a chord progression you could use to practice this. Let's start on fret 1. We'll make this an F chord. And then we're going to slide that shape up to fret 5. And then we'll go to fret 6. And then fret 3. So I've got an F, fret 1. And then it goes to an A on fret 5. And then it goes to a B flat on fret 6. And then a G on fret 3. This kind of sounds like a Pixies song. If you've ever listened to the Pixies, you might know the one I'm talking about. This is getting you a step towards playing the full bar. Practice every single day. All you need to do now is make sure that your finger, that you're using the edge of your index finger, like we've talked about before, it's the thumb side, and you're going to put that right up against the fret you're playing, okay? So not on the fret, just next to it, okay? And when you play these chord shapes, always try to play one string at a time first, like this. Okay. So if you do it that way, you can hear each string one at a time, and you should be able to hear if any of the notes are muted or buzzy or just don't sound nice. You're always trying to strive to get clear sounding notes whenever you can. And remember, you might find it's easier to do this on an electric guitar than an acoustic guitar, but you've got to learn on whatever you've got. We've all got different sized hands, our fingers are all different lengths, so it's quite hard to have a one size fits all for learning this. But I've seen guitar players who have a straight finger when they play bar chords, and I've also seen guitarists that like to curve their finger when they play the chords. I think I'm more in the curved camp for that one. So you can give it a try either way. You've either got a straight finger or try and curve it. You want to find a way that works for you. The bar, all it's doing here is it's pressing down the 6th string and the 2nd and the 1st string. It's actually only really playing 2 strings. However, one way you're going to advance from playing this bar chord, this major chord, will be to make it into a minor chord. And to do that, you'll take your middle finger away, and it reveals the fret that the first finger is on. So you really got to be pressing it across all 6 anyway, because there's variations of these chords you can play just by removing one of your other 3 fingers here. Like the 7th chord, your minor chord, minor 7 chord. So we've got these variations. So it's well worth taking time practicing it every day. It's a really cool thing about the guitar where you learn a shape like this. If you were to move the shape down a string, so each finger moved down 1 each, instead of being a major chord, now it's a minor chord. That's really cool because you're now learning majors and minors, but with only 1 chord shape, which I think is magic. Because if you think about it, you've probably been learning guitar for a little bit now. You can do your G chords and C and D, and there was all different shapes every time. And then you add the minors in, you've got more shapes to go and learn and memorize. However, when you do this bar shape, I've got a major chord there, down a string, I've got another chord, but it's now minor. So you could do all 12 major chords going up in this string, all the way up. I can't reach that one very well. And then you do all minor ones on the next set of strings. And so on. So here's a cool little practice tip for you, where you can learn to switch between the 2 chords. Let's start on the 8th fret on the E string and make it a major chord like this. This is a C chord. And then what I want to do is I want to go down a string and then back a fret. So we're going to be on fret 7, but your first finger is now going to start on the 5th string on that 7th fret, and that gives you an E note. So this will be an E minor. Then we're going to go up to the 6th string, back to fret 6 now, major chord like this. Then the next chord's going to go back diagonal to the 5th fret on the A string, and that's going to give you a minor chord. Listen to this. It kind of reminds me of a Bob Dylan song. It's a nice one. So we could use this progression in a zigzag fashion all the way down the neck to kind of work on your major and minor shape all the way down the neck like this. Just keep it going. And the cool thing about it is it gets more difficult the farther down the neck you go, because there's more tension. So there's a nice practice exercise for you there. So I can give you some practice tips just now of how to approach these bar chords right from the start, going way back to our part 1 series. Practice the 3-note shapes every day. And then for that one, you need to memorise the notes on the D string. And then your third finger would be playing the root note of the chord. So if you can name the note that your third finger's on, then you can name the chord. The next step was when we added the fourth finger. Same thing, you're still going to be using the D string to think of your root notes here. So it's now my fourth finger, whichever fret the fourth finger's on, gives you the name of the chord. But now when we take the first finger and we go across, we need to know the names of the notes on the E string. So that's your 6th string, or the one closest to your face. If you memorise those notes, whichever note your first finger is on will give you the name of the chord. You need to practice this every day. Just pick up your guitar and practice. You might need to stretch. You might need to just gently stretch your hand back to kind of loosen up your forearm a little bit, the fingers moving. You might need to go and do some finger exercises. You should be practicing your bar building exercise. You can find that in part 1. And you've got to play songs that you love. Find songs that you really love to listen to and songs that you just really want to play. Look them up online, find out what the chords are, and maybe when you see a song that has chords that you find really simple, like a G chord, going to a C chord, maybe swap one of those out for a bar chord version. So maybe I might go G like this, and then go to my open C chord. Give that a try. What about finding a song that's in the key of F? Starting with the F chord, going to a C chord, yeah, play every day, every single day. Don't skip a day. It's not easy. So I'd love to know how you're getting on with your F bar chord or any of these bar chords. So please leave a comment below, and if you've got any words of encouragement for other viewers, then leave them in there. That would be great. If you're enjoying these videos and you want to see more, consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out and allows me to create even more videos. Good luck, keep practicing, and remember that learning to play the guitar is a journey, and for most of us, it's a lifelong journey. So don't worry if the chords don't sound great today. Go back to it again later on, or go back to it tomorrow. Try again, and keep trying, and I promise you will get there. Thanks for watching.